and Ranking Member Lucas for holding this hearing. It is important to discuss the importance of climate change research and the push toward lower carbon energy. We all support moving to lower carbon energy, and we've made a lot of progress already, but it would be wrong to ignore the impact on the people we're elected to serve. I'm particularly interested in hearing from the panel what they would say to senior citizens in Florida living on Social Security about double or tripling their electric bills because of the higher costs associated with lower carbon energy. The administration announced a plan to eliminate carbon emissions from the electric sector by 2035 by pushing wind, solar, nuclear, and other lower carbon energy resources. This previous date was 2050. Florida uses mostly natural gas for electric generation. And according to the Florida Municipal Power Agency, the cost to convert natural gas to renewable energies by 2035 could increase Florida's electric bills by 200 to 300% on an annual basis. The current monthly residential electric bill in Florida is $123. That's about 8% of the average Social Security recipient's monthly income. By doubling or tripling of their electric bill would end up taking 18 to 25% of their annual income. I'm concerned about moving the goalposts from 2050 to 2035. How do any of you think we could best explain the increase to senior citizens who we all represent when, according to the Social Security Administration, they earned an average of just $1,452 per month as of December of 2019. Anyone can answer that.
Let me take a shot at that. Let me answer it a little more generically. I think there are a lot of people who will gain and some people that will lose if we do a rapid energy transmission. That's in the nature of change. But what shouldn't happen is that these groups, and that includes, for instance, the coal mining communities, be allowed to fall through the bottom of whatever safety net we have in this country. And so I, would fully endorse an approach that, in fact, I'll say I doubt a solution to this problem is possible unless we afford the appropriate protection to people who might be hurt. And we've done so in the past. Electric bills to low-income families received support, at least during the energy crash 40 years ago. It's been done before.
To echo Dr. Oppenheimer, I think that we can certainly move forward in an energy transition in a way that does not increase people's bills. Now, whether or not we get all the way down to zero in the electricity sector by 2035, or say 80 to 90% of the way there, I think is still a bit of an open question. Renewable energy is very cheap at the margins today, but once you get closer to 100% decarbonization of the system driven by renewables, you start getting much higher costs associated with the complementary technologies like battery storage and whatnot. And so, a world where we get 80, 85, even 90% of the way there by 2035, while still having a fair amount of natural gas backup to fill in the gaps between intermittent generation, is a much lower cost system than one where we get all the way to 100%. Now, by 2050, the longer term decarbonization target, we will hopefully have more mature alternative technologies to fill in those gaps in a cost effective way. And so I think we can definitely, both decarbonize while hopefully reducing, or if not reducing, at least keeping costs similar to they are today for most customers. And I think it's just important that we make sure we do that in the right way. And there's been a number of recent US decarbonization models that I refer to in my written testimony that are very instructive there, including by folks like Dr. Chris Clack and Dr. Jesse Jenkins, who's testifying before you guys next week.
Yeah, I would add, just following up on that, I think Ranking Member Lucas makes a good point about investing in more technology development. How can we use those new technologies to produce a cleaner energy economy that doesn't create more expensive for those that can't afford it?
Yeah, I would add in this discussion, including the statement you just made, it's critical that the distributional impacts of policies are quantified and considered. And that's both for policy actions that your committee is considering, as well as for the impacts of the climate changes that are happening, and that cost benefit analysis is, requires both sides of the equation. And I'll just amplify that. We have clear evidence that global warming is already costing Americans billions of dollars a year. We know from the contribution to climate and weather disasters that's already cumulatively billions of dollars a year, and then in the impacts on economic growth, those economic impacts are even greater. And I'll go back to the chairwoman's question
I'm
about.
sorry, my time has expired and I have to yield back. Thank you, Madam Chairman.